If your baby is taking short naps, like 20 to 45 minutes, and you're wondering if you're doing something wrong or if something is wrong with your baby, take a breath. Short naps are one of the most common sleep things I see, and the good news, most short naps are normal for their age. Today I'm breaking down why short naps happen, when it actually makes sense to work on lengthening them, and the simple steps that help. And if you like calm, practical guidance that doesn't keep you up at night, hit subscribe. Think of it as tucking yourself in with good information. Let's get into it. Before we get into the how, we need to talk about the why. Babies can sleep in cycles that last anywhere from 30 to 50 minutes. At the end of that cycle, their brain moves into lighter sleep before the next cycle starts. Most babies under about 5.5 to 6 months cannot smoothly link those cycles yet. That's not a mistake, that's brain development. So if your baby wakes up at the 29 to 35 minute mark every single time, that is classic cycle completion, not a habit, and not something you caused. It's biology. Short naps also happen when the wake window was too long and they hit overtiredness, or too short and they weren't tired enough. They happen when the room is bright or noisy, when the morning was a sensory circus, when your baby's nervous system needs more settling help in those early months, or when they're working on new skills. And here's a big one. If nights are all over the place, naps usually follow. Babies almost always learn to link cycles at night before they do it during the day. So if this information already gave you that makes sense, go ahead and tap subscribe. There's another piece that also gets missed. If feeds were light or your baby was too distracted to take a full feeding, they may simply wake hungry. Babies nap better when their body fully relaxes after a feed. Now let's talk about what's normal by age. Here's the nap landscape as babies grow. Newborn naps can be 20 minutes to 2 hours just depending on the moment. Total chaos is normal under 3 months. At 3 to 5 months of age, most naps land around one cycle, so anywhere from 30 to 50 minutes. There are some babies that can connect sleep cycles, so you get 2 cycles, maybe around 2 hours or an hour and a half. At 6 to 9 months, naps stretch to around 45 minutes to 90 minutes. Past 9 months, many babies take 1 to 2 hour naps. And some babies are just short nappers by nature and still happy and growing. A short nap doesn't automatically mean something is wrong. It's often more frustrating for the caregiver than it is for the child. And remember, babies don't follow a straight line. Nap lengths can bounce around during growth, illness, teething, or nap transitions. A random short nap doesn't mean you need to rush in with changes. Look for patterns across 2 to 3 days before tweaking anything. You don't need to fix naps from day one. In the first 12 weeks, short naps can be common. Your job is keeping them comfortable, fed, and looking for those sleepy cues. And again, if you have any concern with how to know what hunger and sleepy cues are in the newborn period, make sure you check my caption below for free resources. From 3 to 6.5 months, naps can still be short. You can tweak the environment and timing, but you don't need to overhaul anything unless you want to. Around 6 months and up is when most babies are finally ready for nap support, if you choose to offer it. And remember, pausing in the first 6 months can be really helpful to get those longer sleep stretches. And if you have any questions about pausing, check the resources below on various videos and resources I have. Pausing doesn't mean that your child will take longer naps, but it is one of the important skills so that they can learn to connect sleep cycles. This is because many times babies are waking up through sleep cycles and make a grunting sound or make a shifting sound, and parents think, oh, it's time for a feed, or oh, it's time to wake up. Pausing assures that they are actually awake and not just resettling, which is huge to make sure that we allow them the space to move from sleep cycle to sleep cycle. Now here's how to support longer naps, and again, this is for your child mainly over 6 months. And these are options. You don't have to use them all. You pick what feels doable. Match the wake window to your baby. If they wake crying after 30 minutes, the wake window is probably too long. Look at wake windows and sleepy cues. I have resources that can help determine what a wake window is by age. And remember, there is no science behind this. It's merely looking for those sleepy cues and getting your baby down for a nap before they get overtired. Set up the environment. A darker room, white noise, and a cool space makes settling easier. This doesn't need to be Pinterest level perfect, just simpler and less stimulating. Use a quick pre-nap routine. It does not have to be long. Maybe a swaddle, a sleep sack, blinds, white noise if you use it, and a phrase you repeat. I love you, you're okay. Small cues help their brain switch gears. Pause at the 30-minute wake. Babies often fuss or wiggle during cycle shifts. Give them a moment before intervening. A pause doesn't mean you're ignoring them. It's just space to see if they're transitioning. A pause can be for any grunting or squeak sound. Just don't intervene. But if there's full-blown tears, use your discretion and intervene if needed. Resettle if they need help. A hand on their chest, a gentle pat, a quiet shh, a short rock. These tiny measures reassure them that they can link cycles. There's no one right way to do this. And this is key. Rescue the nap when it matters. Contact naps are allowed. Baby wearing is allowed. Stroller naps are allowed. If finishing the nap on you or somewhere else keeps the rest of the day calmer, that's a win. This is not a bad habit. It's supporting a baby whose brain isn't quite ready yet. And sometimes this can help so we don't have an overtired baby who won't sleep at night. It is much harder to settle an overtired baby. Practice one nap a day in the crib. The first nap of the day has the strongest sleep drive, which means that they are more likely to sleep there. So it's the easiest place to practice. Starting with just one crib nap helps your baby learn the routine without exhausting you or throwing off the entire day. You can keep the other naps however you want. Contact, stroller, carrier, whatever keeps your baby rested and your day sane. You're not choosing this style forever. You're giving your baby a low-stress place to practice while still protecting total sleep for the day. Some babies take to this quickly, and others need a couple weeks or months of gentle repetition. You set the pace. This is one tool and not a rule. And some babies do wonderful in an independent sleep space. If you need guidance on how to transfer your baby to an independent sleep space, especially as a newborn, make sure you watch my YouTube video on that. So remember, fill the wake windows well, watch for sleepy cues, feed well, play, move, get outside for sunlight. Then slow things down when it's time for a nap so they're not riled up thinking that it's a dance party. Remember, you don't need perfect routines. You need a rhythm. And here's a mindset shift that helps. Know the difference between resettling and resetting the day. If you've paused, try to brief soothe, and they're still wide awake, the nap is over. Reset the day with the next wake window. What that means is from the time that they now woke up, you're going to see and watch for those cues and put them down for a nap so that they're not becoming overtired. You cannot force your child to sleep. What you can do is try again with repetition. Sometimes the most sane thing you can say to yourself is, they're not going back to sleep. We're going to try again later. Contact naps can also be used strategically. If your long-term goal is independent naps in an independent space, you can still do one crib nap a day and use contact naps for the others. This prevents overtiredness and keeps the day smoother. I talk about something called the cuddle quota in my video about transferring babies to an independent sleep space, and that applies here too. Babies sometimes just need that closeness. So if you're trying to force all naps into an independent sleep space, it may not work, and you may need to have those cuddles, which is good for you and good for them. Temperament matters too. Some babies settle easily with tiny tweaks and others just need more support. Both are normal. Under 12 weeks, naps are survival mode. Do what works safely. 3 to 5.5 months, naps still may be short. Timing tweaks help, but long naps are still a work in progress. 6.5 months and up, if naps are still short and it's affecting your days, this is the ideal time to offer nap support. Around this age, some babies shift from wake windows to a more clock-based rhythm. If naps are unpredictable, focus on night sleep first. Once nights settle, naps usually improve. And remember, naps may also become wonky in that first year if it's time to drop a nap. Look at these times where babies are most likely to drop a nap to make sure that their nap refusal or them not wanting to nap isn't the fact that they just don't need as much sleep during the day anymore. And if this helped, remember, tap subscribe, comment below already. It's easier than getting a baby to nap 2 naps in a row in a crib. Nap training simply means giving your baby a steady way to fall asleep and practice linking cycles in an independent space. It is structure, not harshness. Nap training works best when your baby is 6 months or older. Nights are steady and you feel ready. And again, it is optional. You are not behind if you choose not to nap train. Here are some common approaches to lengthening that nap. You put them in their space. If they cry, you check and console. Pause for 7 minutes, go in, soothe, reset, lay them down, repeat for up to an hour. Use your sleep teaching method of choice. If you used a method for bedtime, mirror it for naps, one nap at a time. Maybe it's Ferber, or graduated extinction, or parental presence. Nap hour. Nap hour is a structured way for older babies to practice linking sleep cycles. It's usually something to consider around 7 months and beyond, once they have steadier nights and some ability to settle with your chosen sleep teaching method. Here's how that works. You offer the nap in the crib like you normally would. If your baby wakes at the 30-minute mark, you don't immediately end the nap, you don't go in. Instead, they stay in the crib for a full hour from the start of the nap. That gives their brain a chance to reset, resettle, or simply practice being calm in their sleep space. This isn't about letting a baby cry forever or hoping for a miracle. It works when you pair nap hour with a sleep teaching method you already used at bedtime. So maybe it's no check-ins. Maybe it's timed check-ins. Maybe it's picking up and putting them down. Or maybe another structured approach. It's consistency and not pressure. Nap hour is best for certain temperaments. Usually babies who do well with routine, bounce back from short naps, and can settle with brief support. We did this for my son at 7 months. It's not ideal for babies under 6 months or babies who get really worked up and can't reset without you. You know your child best. And as always, this is optional. It's one tool, not a requirement and not the gold standard. So when are short naps okay? If your baby is playful, feeding well, growing, and sleeping well at night, short naps can be completely normal. Some babies are simply efficient sleepers during the day or have lower sleep needs than other children. It's important to loop in your child's clinician if you see short naps paired with ongoing breathing concerns, snoring, severe reflux, or feeding challenges. Short naps alone almost never signal something medical, but if associated with any other concerns, speak up. Bottom line, and you may not want to hear this, but short naps are developmentally normal, especially for babies under 7 months. They're a developmental phase, not a report card. You can't force a nap. You can only set the stage, and as your baby grows, their naps grow too. If this made things feel a little easier, hit that thumbs up sign, subscribe, and share in the comments what nap struggle or sleep struggle your family is currently facing. And if you have any questions, comment below because my team of medical experts are always willing to answer. I'll see you all next time. Stay well and hopefully stay rested.